Buongiorno tutti quanti, mi chiamo Dena e sono professoressa di italiano. Welcome to lesson 1 of my YouTube Italian course. If you've watched my orientation video and read the syllabus, you'll note that today's topic is saluti e espressioni di cortesia, greetings and courteous expressions. We're starting on page 3 of your textbook, Prego. The first things you'll need to do when you're speaking Italian will be to greet the person you're speaking to and introduce yourself. On page 3, you'll see the heading Presentazioni. This is one of the word tracks under that heading. Buongiorno, mi chiamo Alessandra Stefanin. Sono professoressa di italiano. Sono di Venezia. Now let's take this typical greeting and introduction apart section by section. We'll start with saluti, greetings. I'm going to repeat these terms often so you can get used to the sound of them. You should also practice them until you're comfortable saying the phrases and are able to pronounce the words correctly. The word track I read a moment ago begins with buongiorno. Buongiorno means good day and is a typical greeting from morning through late afternoon. Now pronounce it on your own after me. Buongiorno. In the evening, the greeting changes to buonasera. Buonasera means good evening and is used throughout the evening, even late. Now pronounce it after me. Buonasera. Finally, when you're going to bed, you can say buonanotte. Buonanotte means good night. Now pronounce it after me. Buonanotte. Buongiorno and buonasera are used to say both hello and goodbye. In Italian, buonanotte is not typically used to say goodbye at the end of the evening, such as at a party or going home after a night out with friends. In these cases, buonasera would typically be used instead. Italian also has a less formal greeting, ciao. Ciao also means both hello and goodbye and is used in casual situations. Say it after me. Ciao. Salve, which is somewhat more formal than ciao, is not as common. There are also 3 terms we're going to cover that are only used to say goodbye. Arrivederci, arrivederla, and a presto. Arrivederci and a presto are informal. Arrivederci simply means goodbye, and a presto means see you soon. Pronounce them after me. Arrivederci, a presto. Arrivederla means goodbye as well. It gets used in more formal situations, mainly when you're talking to adults you don't know well. Arrivederla would also be used with teachers, professors, and people in the workplace. It's just a particularly courteous way of saying goodbye. Pronounce it after me. Arrivederla. So after you've said hello to someone, you'll want to introduce yourself. Mi chiamo Alessandra Stefanin means my name is Alessandra Stefanin. Just say mi chiamo, followed by your name. Pronounce it after me using your own name. Mi chiamo Dena Scheider. Next, Alessandra Stefanin says, sono professoressa di italiano. Sono di Venezia. Sono means I am. Notice that whereas in English you say I am a professor, Italian doesn't use the word a in this situation. In Italian it's just sono professoressa, or if you're a man, sono professore. You can use this with any profession. You can say where you're from by saying sono di plus your city or state. Sono di Venezia. Repeat these expressions after me using your own information. Sono cantante. Sono di Los Angeles. Let's look at some of the espressioni di cortesia, or polite expressions. When someone introduces him or herself to you, you respond with piacere. Piacere just means pleased to meet you. Repeat after me. Piacere. Some of the other expressions you'll want to know are per favore, grazie, prego, come, scusi, and scusa. Per favore means please. Repeat after me. Per favore. Often, shortly after you say per favore, you'll need to say grazie, thank you. After me, grazie. If someone thanks you for something, the answer is prego. Prego literally means I pray. In practical terms, prego means you're welcome. Repeat after me, prego. If you haven't heard what someone has said, or if you haven't understood, you can say come, meaning what. Repeat after me, come. If you want to be somewhat more polite, you can say scusi in a formal situation or scusa in an informal situation. These mean excuse me and can also be used to get someone's attention or to apologize like in English. Repeat after me. Scusi, scusa. After you've introduced yourself to someone, you can start your conversation by asking that person's name. In a formal situation, the question is come si chiama, Repeat after me. Come si chiama? If the situation is casual, you can ask, Come ti chiami? Instead, after me. Come ti chiami? Listen to the difference between the polite, Come si chiama? And the casual, Come ti chiami? When someone asks you one of these questions, the answer is, Mi chiamo plus your name, as in, Come si chiama? Mi chiamo Monica Rossi. The next part of an informal conversation might be, Come va? Or Come stai? Come va means how's it going. Come stai means how are you? Repeat after me. Come va? Come stai? If the situation is formal, the question would be, Come sta? Come sta also means how are you, but it's a more polite form than come stai. Pronounce each form after me. Come sta? Come stai? The answers to any of these questions could be bene, abbastanza bene, così così, non c'è male, or male. Repeat after me. Come sta? Bene. Abbastanza bene. Così così. Non c'è male. Male. You can add grazie, as in bene, grazie, and or e lei. This would come out something like abbastanza bene, grazie, e lei? Repeat after me. Abbastanza bene, grazie, e lei? Among friends, e lei would be replaced by e tu. You've probably noticed that a lot of these expressions have formal and informal forms. The Italian language distinguishes between formal or polite forms and casual forms much more than English does. When I say a term is informal or casual, that means it can be used with close friends, family members, children, and pets. Students and young adults often also use the informal forms with each other even if they don't know each other well. That said, though, you'll want to err on the formal side since people really can get offended if you speak to them informally when it's not appropriate to do so. Italian also uses titles and surnames, titoli e cognomi, more than English does. Older or married women may be addressed as signora. If you put a last name after signora, it means Mrs., as in Signora Cantarini. Young unmarried women can be addressed as signorina. These words can be used with no last name to mean ma'am or miss. Repeat these greetings after me. Buongiorno, signorina. Buonasera, signora Cantarini. Grazie, signora. Men can be addressed as signore, which is usually shortened to signor before a name. Repeat after me. Signor Casti, piacere. Other titles that can be used in the same way are for women, professoressa or dottoressa, and for men, professore or dottore. These are also shortened to professor or dottor if you're putting the man's last name after it. Repeat these words after me. Professoressa, dottoressa, professore, dottore. If someone isn't a close friend or family member, make sure to use formal language and the correct title. You can also add their last name if you know it. I'm going to summarize these by putting together the things we've learned so far. Repeat each word or phrase after me, starting with the ones that can be used in any situation. Buongiorno. Buonasera. Buonanotte. Piacere. Grazie. Prego. Per favore. Come? Now here are the more formal expressions we went over. Repeat after me. Come si chiama? Scusi? Come sta? Arrivederla? Finally, with close friends and family members or children, you can say ciao, a presto, arrivederci, scusa, come va? Come stai? Come ti chiami? When talking about yourself and how you're doing, you can say mi chiamo Antonella. Sono venditrice di macchine. Sono di Los Angeles. Bene. Abbastanza bene. Così così. Non c'è male. Male. So that's our first lesson. I recommend practicing these things with a partner or even just in front of the mirror. And before moving on, I also encourage you to work on the esercizi on pages 5 and 6 of your book. Please leave any questions, comments, or requests in the comments and subscribe to get updated as I add new lessons. Thanks for watching.